I have here some more examples from He's a Stud, She's a Slut, and 49 Other Double Standards Every Woman Should Know. And they're so, when you see them, you realize how very unfair and sexist our society is. So I thought I'd read some more from He's a Stud, She's a Slut, and 49 Other Double Standards Every Woman Should Know. And for instance, number 4, he's a hero, she's a damsel. Like all people, I have my flaws, which is why I've never ever wanted a guy to put me on a pedestal. If you're on a pedestal, you have a long way to fall. And no one can live up to the expectations that some folks, in fact, a lot of folks, have for women. That we're virgins, Madonnas, mothers, little girls, perfect angels to be protected. Naturally, viewing women this way sets up a very dangerous dynamic, because no one is perfect, and when women transgress, they get punished. You don't have to look much further than the virgin whore complex to figure that out. And while the whole woman on a pedestal thing is often shrouded in ideas about romance, it's anything but. Because notions of pedestals and chivalry operate under the assumption that women are inferior. While holding women up to high standards may not immediately seem like it's degrading, after all, right now the idea of girls being princesses and treated like queens is all the rage. What it's actually doing is saying that women are like children, not fully formed people. We have to be protected. We have to be coddled. We have to be treated with kid gloves. Sorry, my idea of romance isn't being babied. Now, when people think chivalry, they think of men opening doors for women, throwing their jackets over puddles, and paying for dinners. All admittedly nice things. Save the jacket throwing, that just seems nuts given the price of outerwear these days. But this is how they get you. Doing things like opening doors for people is polite. I would hope one would do as much for anyone if they got to the door first. Chivalry is something completely different. Chivalry is the idea that men should be doing something for women for one of two reasons. They think women aren't capable of doing things for themselves. They think that doing things like opening doors should get them laid. Again, I think doing nice things for people, whether you're dating them or not, is fantastic. I love it when my significant other does shit for me. Now, whether this is because I'm slightly lazy, I don't know. We should draw a distinction. One of my favorite examples of chivalry gone wild is from a column in a college paper that my friend and fellow feminist blogger, Gio Filipovic, wrote about. Basically, this male student is complaining that chivalry is dead because women had the audacity to do things for themselves. Quote, and so emerged a group of warrior princesses affectionately referred to as feminazis, lean, mean, emasculating machines in power suits who prove to the world that women are intelligent, strong, capable, and incredibly frightening. You have to love a guy who thinks capable women are frightening. Jill's response to this is spot on. She says, there's a difference between being chivalrous and being nice or polite. Opening a door for someone because you got to the door first is both nice and polite. Making a huge production of opening a door for a woman in the hopes that she'll see what a chivalrous dude you are and fuck you, and then getting all pissy when she doesn't respond how you want her to, is not polite or nice. And that's the thing with chivalry. Always demand something in return. If you're being nice to me because you like me and you're the kind of person who is nice to people you like, then that's great. If you're being nice to me because you're hoping to get something out of it, if you think you're entitled to sex or a relationship with me because you are nice and chivalrous, you can go fuck yourself. See how that works. Love it. And frankly, when you take a look at the people who are pushing old school notions of chivalry and romance, you may think twice before letting a dude pick up the check. Most often it's conservatives you'll hear arguing that chivalry is dead, and the feminists killed it, of course. These are people who have a specific agenda in mind, mostly one that involves getting women back in the kitchen, for real. Conservative women's groups, the Independent Women's Forum, for example, has a campaign called Take Back the Date, where they try to counter what they call hookup culture by promoting old-school dating practices, like bringing flowers, boys asking girls out, and never vice versa, and so on. Doesn't really sound terrible, right? Well, the other part of Taking Back the Date is protesting feminists on campus and any college performance of the vagina monologues, because talking about vaginas is counter to romance, apparently. They see promoting chivalry as an easy way to promote other traditional gender roles. Chivalry is also used as an excuse to glorify the good old days when men were men and women were doormats. In fact, New York Times columnist David Brooks once wrote that the reason rape still exists is that chivalry is no longer around. As if women didn't get raped in the good old days. So seriously, let's not romanticize something that's not necessarily all that great. So, what to do? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to stop letting guys open doors for me. I probably still like it when someone offers to help me put my jacket on. But I'm not going to expect it from men. Similarly, I would hope that men, upon doing random nice things, wouldn't expect anything in return. When it comes to the dangers of being on a pedestal, just don't go there.